Welcome. Thanks for joining me. So you've decided that you want to start a home practice and you don't really know where to start. So I'm going to talk you through a few tips to help you get started and help you get prepared so that you can practice at home, so that you can feel comfortable and hopefully return to your mat time and time again and make it a new habit for your life. So first thing you want to do is set up a space. So you want to look around your house. If you need to right now, pause this after I'm done talking and find a space. Find a space that is realistic for you to practice. Not everybody can donate a whole room as a space for them to practice in. Maybe it's a space beside your bed. Maybe it's a space that you feel comfortable in your front room. Wherever it might be, somewhere that you have access, if you're going to be doing videos, that you have access to the Wi-Fi and to a device that you can lead you through those practices. But find a space, and it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be anything. It literally just needs to be the space of your mat, the length of your mat, and maybe the width of your arm span. That's really all you need. So take some time right now and maybe just pause this video and write down 2 or 3 spaces that you know of in your house that you could practice. Great. Now that you have that done, what you want to do next is take some time and collect your props, right? Maybe you need to order some blocks online. Maybe you need to get some blocks. Maybe you need to get a strap. Maybe you need to get a mat. Whatever you need, get your props. And before it takes time to get them and to get them in the mail, you might need to use a belt as your strap, right? I've used this many a times as a strap until I found my strap. Then you can use books. Books are great as blocks. You can prop them up. You can prop them any different directions. Those are great if you don't have blocks. You can use little weights. You can even use a chair, right? You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. You can always put your hand or even your elbow on a chair, but have that chair there to assist you. You even have the wall, so you might want to find a space that has a wall nearby. Get any cushions you might need, right? Maybe you have a blanket or a cushion or something that you might need to sit on at the beginning or the end, or even help you in Shavasana. So gather your props. So you've got your space, now you've got your props, and next you want to take time and realistically look at a time in your day that you can practice. You want to try and have it be the same time every day if possible. Or the times that you're planning on practicing, but pick that time. Is it going to be in the morning? Is it going to be in the afternoon? Is it going to be right before bed? Whatever it's going to be, try to get into that habit and stick to that habit and see how that feels for a couple weeks, that time frame. But realistically, find that time for yourself. Schedule it in your day, an important meeting with yourself. That's what you want to schedule it as. Something that you're doing for yourself. There's nothing that's going to tear you away from it. It's your time and you want to stick to it. Next, where you want to go is you want to choose your practice the day before you actually practice. Or if you're practicing in the evening, choose it in the morning. Because sometimes I notice if I'm practicing on my own and I'm at home and I'm like, I wonder what I want to do today. And I'm scrolling through all the different options that I have. And next thing I know, I've wasted a half an hour of my practice time. So see if you can choose that ahead of time so that all you're doing is you're coming, you're ready to press play. That's going to help you also know what props you need for the day. So try to do that. That's going to be very helpful. Next thing you want to try to do is find a realistic length for yourself. Everybody wants to say, oh, I'm going to practice an hour every day. That might not be realistic. Maybe you have 10 minutes, maybe you have 20 minutes, maybe you might even have 30. If you have more than that, great. But stick with something simple and small to start with, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Maybe you find a schedule of every other day, not every day. Maybe it's 3 times a week. Whatever you can fit into your schedule, but make sure it's realistic. So pause now, look at your schedule, see what can work for you. Just pause this video, take a couple moments, and jot down some ideas of what might be good for you for your practice time. All right. And the last few parting things to leave you with as you start your home practice is be flexible. There's going to be some days that life gets in the way, life happens, and you can't practice. And don't make that a point of contention to where you're like, oh, I just can't do it, and then you give up. Just start again the next day. You didn't make it to that day, understand that, realize it, and then make that commitment to start again the next day. That's the strength of the practice, which you'll find practicing yoga, you're going to have that strength to start again, to come back again to things that bring you joy and happiness. And hopefully yoga will do that for you as you start to practice. Then you want to be able to be curious to try new styles, try different classes. Maybe you have a specific one that you like to do all the time and you get into that habit, but then it's not getting you back to your mat because you kind of know what to expect. So maybe try some different styles. I know on my website I do have a few different styles. I have the flow classes, I have more yin classes, which are holding longer poses. I have some restorative classes, as well as some breathing and meditation. So you have different styles that you can start to play with and work around with to keep things new for you and get you back to your mat each day. And then finally, at the end of maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, you want to reflect. Reflect on your practice. Notice what's working for you. Are the times working for you? Are the days working for you? Is the length working for you? What's not working, right? It's important to acknowledge those things that aren't working. What are those things that are rubbing you in a little wrong direction and kind of not helping you get to your mat more consistently? Write those down and see if you can change them. If there are things you can change, great. See if you can do that. If there are things that are out of your control, try not to let them bother you as much. And then finally, what kind of adjustments can you make to your practice? What kind of adjustments can you make for yourself to feel more confident getting to your mat, and then just allowing yourself to feel comfortable being on your mat and taking that time for yourself? So hopefully these tips will help you. Hopefully you will start a new practice this week, maybe even tomorrow, getting all your gear in line. Choose one of the videos that I have. You can start from the beginner to the intermediate, one maybe a specialty class to start. Wherever you start, it's the perfect place for you. Take refuge in that and enjoy your practice. Namaste.